Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. First things first, my Yogi Tea Bag says, your inner self is your inner guide. All right. Take that as you will. All right. Hope you're doing well today. Tuesday, September 26th, I believe. Looking forward to the message. Just cutting the cards a bit as if I haven't already cut them 10,000 times, quite honestly. But for your viewing pleasure, you're welcome. Let's see what we got here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe as you feel guided. That's way too many cards. That was that was the Queen of Cups and the Star, though, with the Two of Swords. Someone may be trying to block your intuition. Yeah, causing some type of illusion or confusion. And I say like, share, and subscribe because, as you may or may not have come across, I am going to host a 100 subscribers giveaway. So when we hit the 100 subscribers mark, I'm going to share a contest, or basically a way for you to enter to win a very special gift from me to you as an appreciation for making that mark, which is a milestone for me, given this channel is fresh and new. So thank you to all those that have subscribed thus far. I appreciate your presence. Tell a friend, share a video, definitely like it if it resonates with you, please and thank you. Help to give it, and that came back out, no way. Help to give it some legs, why don't you? Appreciate you. Wow, yeah, somebody is trying to block this big old blessing. But you see that block is back in that deck, though, because it's just virtually impossible with the Queen of Cups, who's highly intuitive's oil from my hands, by the way. The Queen of Cups, the Star card, someone that's healed and that is following her divine path, and the Ace of Cups, which means that not only are her steps ordered and ordained by the Most High, but they're also rewarded. Her efforts are rewarded, so it's like whomever, whatever would try to interfere with someone that's sitting in this type of power is delusional themselves, honestly. I know it's a reason why I saw that Two of Swords. It's someone that doesn't want for someone such as the Queen of Cups, who's on her divine path, to feel confident that she is enough to trust her instincts and trust her intuition, her psychic capability, even, especially with all of this water energy here. It's basically beware of projections on you at this time, as you're more or less, if this is you, sitting in your most confident self, probably ever in this lifetime, or at least maybe in a long time. And those that are literally on the outside looking in feel threatened by it, or yeah, that's what I hear pretty much. There's a threat by what you know and who you're destined to be, and also the spiritual support that you have to do all those things or be all those things. So the projection is ultimately a tactic to, at this point, to make you doubt yourself and to distrust yourself on this path that you're on, so that you ultimately kind of like stall yourself out from making any choice forward, because you don't feel like, basically like considering somebody making you question the value of your love with the Queen of Cups, like in the most practical sense, right? Making you feel like you're not as loving as you know that you are, or you may even project yourself to be, or making you feel unworthy, definitely unworthy to receive love by, you know, in the essence of which you ultimately embody it at this point. Like, you're not worthy to receive unconditional love, being someone that is harboring that essence. Queen of Cups for sure. The Queen of Cups is pretty much holding the Ace of Cups. And then with the star energy, as you see, she's pouring out from both hands. It's like you're not only willing and able to receive love, but you're also willing to share it, to pour it out from you. And that this is the overflow that is coming from. So there's nothing tainted about it, nothing insecure about it, nothing imbalanced, you know, emotionally. So it's all fair game. And it's healing, as a matter of fact. Like, your love is healing. That's what I'm meaning to say. So someone doesn't want you to believe that you are that you possess such a valuable love, because if you believe that you are in possession of it, and that you are that you project it, then you'll ultimately be in expectation to receive it. And for whatever reason, there's someone that doesn't want you to feel like you're worthy to receive what you give out, maybe because they want to come and offer something less than. Ultimately, that's the only really logical answer, that they want to be able to come and offer you less than what you deserve, because they either are not willing to offer you all that you deserve, or they're not capable. And this is saying to me a little bit of both with the Seven of Cups. Somebody operating in the Seven of Cups energy is emotionally imbalanced, practically speaking. They don't know what to choose when it comes to love. There's no access to any divine love in that state of being. Not that way, not in this energy. It's more tainted cups in that card than anything positive. And they're still perhaps wanting to operate in the function of a toxic love vibration. So naturally, they're not going to want, they know they can't. Ultimately, somebody sitting in this type of power, you're a repellent for somebody that's toxic, even for a narcissist. You know, this as attractive as you are energetically, someone that is grounded in the love that they are and the love that they deserve, that is healed and that's on their divine path and connected to spirit from a supreme source, is like kryptonite for a narcissist who has poor intentions. And I'm using the word narcissist loosely because I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but I know it also resonates for those quite simply, you know. And then someone that I can explain, that I can characterize with perhaps maybe 7 spiritual imbalances, you know, all in one. I let's just sew it up into narcissist, pretty much, just simply put. Someone that is willing to ultimately sacrifice the well-being of someone else for their own satisfaction is ultimately the disparity here. Again, blocking you on that Two of Swords, so that you may be hoping that you don't even see them coming for who exactly they are, which, like I said, is like ridiculous at this point with the Queen, the Star, and the Ace. Dude, just give it up. Spend your time otherwise and elsewhere on someone else, because it's not even worth it. It's not worth the time and energy that you will put into a person like this that perhaps is trying to project, and I was just about to say it too, that's trying to project some type of spiritual or emotional manipulation. And when I say project, it's definitely from a distance. You see how he's kind of in the clouds, and that's what this Magician is giving me. Somebody that is looking to be manipulative, looking to have their way with someone. Perhaps it could be, I don't know, it's no swords on but we got this energy here. I'm gonna do this because I think I can get a few rows out of this. We got the Magician who's, operating in the way of lust and compulsion, impulsion. He don't even, there's that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like it's a delusional energy, because perhaps once upon a time, or in other cases, yeah, with the Knight of Wands, in other cases, he's been able to wave that magic wand and ultimately have his way with whomever he sets his eyes on or sets his intentions toward. And for whatever reason, because a Knight of Wands in a lower vibration is someone that is just lustful. You know, they're ambitious on account of some perverted passion. Again, this is pure passion, right? In every sense of the word, you know, pure love, I should say. It's not the wands, but this is like he wants to dip his wand into any of these cups, but not for the sake of creating something good. It's ultimately just for him to be satisfied with the idea that he can, that he's able to have some taste or some pleasure in someone that is healed and secure in who they are, and solid in their love expectations. He would want to come and like sully all that up with his BS, his F-boy mentality. Really, I feel like it's just an immature vibe. You know, it's like I said, it definitely gives me somebody that has something to prove, especially with the wand energy and the magician here, but it's immature. It's like an immature ambition, you know, to say the least, because it's deeper than that. It's not just him wanting to, you know, seeing a girl or seeing a woman and you just want to you're just excited by your loins to connect with her. This is someone that wants to dominate a vibration such as this. There's something that's incited in him to want to just corrupt this pure love source and ultimately diminish it down to perhaps how he feels about himself, which is how I see the Seven of Cups. Confused, delusional, illusional, perhaps having made some missteps in love multiple times, or just having been mismanaged in love multiple times. So he's on a rampage. Is definitely this Knight of Wands. It's like rage against the against true love ultimately, and anyone that expresses that, he finds some vendetta toward. And with the Queen of Cups, sometimes I definitely get mother vibes. So as always, and the Knight of Wands being immature, it's regressive energy, you know, unresolved childhood issues, or just, you know, it's not even so much child as much maybe he got rejected a lot or something and when he was a teenager, or he couldn't quite get the girl, you know, the dream girl or whatever when he was a young guy. And so ever since then, he's kind of had this vendetta against the pretty girl, the sweetheart, because that's what the Queen of Cups is, like America's sweetheart in a sense, or the popular girl with the star energy, or with the Ace of Cups, like that's like even the holy girl is something that it's like these are the energies that he looks to desecrate. Someone that is pretty much good in nature, even might even have like some benevolence about her, that maybe is even very chaste in a way, is what the Ace of Cups is giving me. Somebody that may have been a virgin, may be a virgin, or maybe abstaining, or abstaining, or what's the other word? Abstinence and why can't I hear that? Because I always use abstaining, because Lord knows I ain't no virgin, obviously. When you're celibate is more of the word of when you're waiting for like matrimony and you've ultimately been saving yourself for some spiritual commitment, right? So to sully that energy, even if it's not actually so, but just somebody that has a high like a high value for their spiritual essence, for their cup, for they thing, you know what I mean? The essence of them, they value it highly, and they don't just let anybody take a sip. That's the energy here. It's like his being the F-boy and at the heart of himself, you know, someone very lustful, probably, like I said, trying to make up for past time or lost experiences or missed experiences, instead of valuing the woman as she is, and maybe perhaps he is in a position, especially with the Knight of Wands. That's the lover boy right there. He definitely can catch it. You know, he can. It's not like he's hard up, literally, for some type of energetic exchange, but it's the intention behind it. You know, that's very mature, and then even worse, manipulative, you know, with the intentions of causing some harm or damage, or, you know, or just to mismanage it or misguide or mislead the energy altogether. It's like ridiculous ultimately. Let's see what else we got here. Why do we care? Let me get a sip of tea. There's something deeper here for us to know or see, because this ain't really, maybe you just are needing to stay vigilant about protecting your energy. Or many, you know, as offers come in, if you're someone that is open to partnership at this time, professionally or intimately, you know. Yeah, I'm not gonna take these, but that's interesting. Yeah, look, because this is somebody who's looking to finesse for your energy, that's holding on to some ideal about himself that hasn't been prosperous up until this point, because it's only 4 of Pentacles. That's not even the halfway point. So it's like a poor mentality about life. He's really much more fixated on energetic, on material gain and wealth, and in some regards is not really even measuring up to what he's focused on, or, you know, what ultimately he's attracted to, and you know, what he's, I'm missing a word here, but, and I said I wasn't even going to take this, so I shouldn't. This is what I'm saying, like, just be wary, because someone in this energy doesn't even deserve the time of day. They broke. If they're not broken in a material sense, like literally robbing Peter to pay Paul, yeah, look at it. Emotionally, they're broke. They're poor in spirit. And ultimately, yeah, with the Sun card here, like, you'll be able to see the true essence of who they are a mile away, because why? You're the Queen of Cups. You see the unseen. And what you don't see, the spirit sees for you, because you're in divine alignment with your truth. And you know what to do when you see some BS coming your way. You know exactly how to handle it. And that's, like I said, that's what he's afraid of. And in a sense, it's like, unfortunately, yeah, he's still working. Because unfortunately, as much as that's something that he is afraid of, is still, remember I said, it incites this compulsion within him, because although he can clearly see that you're really not the energy to F around with, to try these tactics and these lover boy moves on, there's still something in him that, maybe it's pride with the Sun card here. It's the pride and ego that still incites him to try it anyway. You know, that's still, like, he's charging ahead anyway, in the wrong direction, mind you, running into his own damn tricks in some way, shape, or form. So there's that. But it's just the projection itself that he's still committed to, that where he may not be able to get to you physically, he's still willing to put in the work to project some mental energy your way by way of the 8 of Swords, to still, you know, again, keep you stuck in your head about whether or not you deserve what's coming to you, which it's already clear that not only do you, but you already have it, because you are it. The Queen of Cups isn't waiting for the Ace of Cups. She already is the Ace of Cups. And the Star is the physical projection. Her presence in this earth is the physical projection of that truth. So whereas someone might, oh, I hear it. Someone, now this might be very specific, but it's like someone is projecting, ooh, this is something right here. Someone that, okay, how can I say this? Someone is projecting to you that you're waiting on them either to close a cycle or like some closure, or to for some new beginning of sorts. It's like they're projecting onto you as if their presence makes the difference. But this is how freaking diabolical that is, because they know they can't come to you, especially on the type of bullshit that they're on. They know that they wouldn't even get past your spirit guides being on this type of low vibrational, poor intentional type of energy. But the projection to keep you stuck and in waiting, bound and blind, is as if it could be multiple things. It could either be someone that perhaps you may have had a connection with, and for some of you, you have no intentions of reconnecting with this person, but you know that there's some unfinished business or some unresolved exchange of sorts. If not for you, you know it is so for them, because you can still feel them in your energy, or you know that they're still being energy projected to you. So what they're doing is projecting to you that you're ultimately waiting on them to receive your blessings, which is so crazy. And we know that like I said, we attract from our present position, like our projective position. So they know they can't really get in here and infiltrate your physical space, or even really your spiritual or emotional space at this time, because for some of you, you're just completely over any old news at this point. So what they're doing is projecting to you that all as over as you may be, that your life won't move on until you have this big moment of either confrontation here with the Knight of Wands, or some exchange, or some even exposure of their bullshit in some way, shape, or form, that will put you in a position of power to do something differently. But all the while, none of that really matters, because like I said, you're already sitting in the power of love as you already are. So this and this is so funny. Like, I wish I could really say it how I feel it, because this is something that I heard in meditation today. I hope I'm conveying it correctly. It's like it's like a mental hold, where you've surpassed them spiritually and emotionally. It's like you being in this Eight of Swords. It's like it's almost a mental imprisonment, in a sense, where you feel like there's something you need in order to move forward, or there's still some projection of mistrust that you're absorbing, or they think, this may not even be true, because the Queen of Wands is here, right? Like, this may just be for the purposes of exposing the energy, the intention of the energy projected to you, so that you can continue. Because like I said, I started this by saying he's delusional and illusional anyway. Like, he's a victim of his own delusions at this point, to even think that he's any match for somebody sitting in this divine energy. So it could very well be, so that I can be clear not to project anything onto you that is not so. So take what resonates, leave the rest. It could very well be that this is just his intention, his tactic of manipulation, because he can't get to you physically. He can't get to you emotionally. He definitely can't get to you spiritually. So to make you sit in your mind, like always, almost always sitting on ready, but it keeps you stuck in a sense, if you allow it to, because if you're always anticipating either some great confrontation or some revelation or some new development, or somebody emailing or calling or texting, or you know what I mean? Like, whether it be somebody that is bold enough to actually extend themselves in some passionate way, you know what I mean, to actually extend themselves with some offer to connect in some regard, or someone that is finally just going to show themselves for who they really are, by expressing or sharing what really has been going on all along. You know what I mean? Either way, the anticipation of that could cause for one to kind of be a little bit captivated, in a sense, because it almost makes you feel like it's your direction is dependent upon that moment, even though it's not. This is your sign that it's not. You are free to move about the planet in whatever way you choose to do so. 9 times out of 10, an energy such as this and you sitting in such as this is not even going to be able to connect with you at this point. You're vibrating too high. Even with their best, their absolute best, what do you call it? Not intention, but attempt is what I should really say. Like, as fierce as they may even psych themselves up in the mind to feel that they have, you know, some type of leverage, or they still got a chance, or they still hold some power over you in some way, it's all false. Someone that is delusional is only good for projecting illusions. So you get to shake it off, stay focused on the North Star that you are and what's guiding you on your path, knowing that you have spiritual support, heavenly support, angelic support at this point, that is wanting you to see the value of yourself in that frequency of protection. You know, it's like literally looking into the Holy Grail and seeing the reflection of yourself is what the spirit desires for you. And if nothing matches that reflection, it's like, look at the difference. You know, like, would you really even entertain somebody that is delusional and operating in some delusions of grandeur about themselves? He's projecting himself as a magician, but really his power is limited as the Knight of Wands, which is not even on the same level as the Queen. Yeah, he may have power, he may be fierce, he may even be super ambitious, which can be powerful in itself, but ultimately it's not trumping the Queen on any level. And then you got the Queen of Wands here to just solidify the point with double Leo energy right next to her. Like, this is confidence on a beam, you know what I mean? Like, amplified confidence here, meaning you have every right to be confident in who you are, what you're capable of, and what you have acquired for yourself thus far. And also, look, she's looking at the work. So not only in your spiritual self are you able to see the bullshit that's really going on behind the veil, behind the clouds, you can see it in real time too. And it's like she's amused is what the Queen of Wands look like. She's looking at him on this 8 of Pentacles, working hard towards some effort, some outcome, which ultimately is what? This mental manipulation. But meanwhile, she's got the bird's eye view looking at him like, really, dude? Like, you okay? Like, have at it, I guess. Because she's already decided on her next move as the Queen of Wands. She already knows what's going down. So he's working, it's like, I just got the sense that he's working on a timeline that she's not even on anymore. Oh my God, that's powerful. I just got chills. He's working literally with Pentacles being time. He's working on a timeline that she has been elevated beyond at this point. Still operating in the old mentality, old world tricks that are definitely fueled by his own depression and lack of self-worth with the 5 of Cups card. Something that he obviously was doing, you know, that was working before. And so that's why he's looking at these spilled cups like, what happened? I had this before. This has worked for me. What's going on? So he's trying some new tactic, but she's already 8 steps ahead, by or at least 2. Let's modestly say 2 steps ahead of the bullshit. That she's looking at him like, dude, I'm not even there anymore. You over here with that version of me, and I'm over here completely elevated, exalted, and confident. I mean, the Queen of Wands is the most confident queen in the deck next to the Empress. You know, she has no, and we're talking about Leo confidence, where it's like you are the supreme source in the sphere, you know. Yeah, right. You can try to take my voice, but it's not going to work because you don't really have to say much to project. As the Queen of Wands, you don't really have to say much of anything. Your mind and your passion, just what you objectify as something that you desire to have, is pulling into you. It's coming to you. And you have the support of the Spirit to wield that power because you've already proven yourself to be in divine alignment and secure in your spiritual self, in spirit and in truth. You know what I mean? Like, not just somebody that is delusionally in love with themselves. This is like, no, you have healed in love. You see exactly what is valuable of you, and it's not inflated in a sense where you're not, like I said, she pours out and she is poured into. So it's not inflated as such would be in a narcissistic on a narcissistic frequency where you just love yourself so much that nothing else matters, nobody else matters. This is someone that's quite balanced, and literally with the star cards, one jug in each hand, pouring out equally, quite balanced in how she expresses herself. It's just like she knows the high value of the love that she gives, and she just expects that in return. That's divine, and that's ordained, and it's justified. There's nothing imbalanced about that. But somehow this energy wants to somehow punish that vibration, diminish it. I mean, just quite simply, clearly, because he doesn't have the will to acquire that level of self-love himself. And notice I said the will, not the ability. He doesn't aspire to it holistically. He rather siphon it from other sources outside of himself than to actually do the work to raise this vibration of depression here on whatever past experiences that have brought him to this space, and really, resolve those dark issues in the light, expose them even unto himself. You don't have to put yourself on blast unnecessarily. This star may not have healed in the public eye. A lot of her healing may have happened just because it's the star energy. It's not always the conventional aspect of star in the way that we perceive celebrity. Maybe that's the disparity here, that he somehow, with the delusion here, he somehow, or illusion about it, that he somehow mistook celebrity for stardom. And they're two different things. Celebrity is what society props up as success. And 9 times out of 10, the standards are very low to qualify. You know what I mean? Like, it's an illusion that the people that we see that have acquired some status of popularity and success and notoriety and what do you call it? Like, accomplishment or accolades are the ones to admire and to aspire to. So, and it's all a trick, of the lower vibrational spirit that roams the earth, ultimately, that would want us to be looking in the wrong direction for ways to measure ourselves by. So once it catches your attention and you start to see your favorite star or some person or thing to aspire to, because it doesn't even have to be like a person. It could just be a status, a position, a power of, again, celebrity. Think about that in whatever way you will. You see that, you value that, you measure yourself by it and don't feel like you measure up. So then you pursue it, and then it becomes an obsession. It becomes your focal point in life, of which you ultimately decide whether or not you have done anything good or well or not. But that's the opposite of what a true star is. A true star in this life, holistically, is someone that's going to look internally and see how they measure up to the self, the person that they would want to be most holistically. So if you're seeing some imbalances in yourself, i.e. even someone that idolizes celebrity in the first place, not that it's all bad, but when it becomes like a distortion in your pursuit in life, that's a cause to look internally and say, like, why do I feel like I have to be known? I have to have this many followers. I have to be recognized on the street. I have to, have this many albums, or I have to be touring worldwide, or all the things, aesthetics of celebrity, that, or even just having, because celebrities work behind the scenes too that we don't even know of, but they're known in the industry, so to speak, the ones that make things happen, you know what I mean? That even that is an aspiration. But when it's all that you aspire to and you negate the inner work, the stardom that would actually shine from the inside out, the being a star from the inside out actually is what attracts Queen of Wands, that star power from the outside in, if you get what I'm saying. So someone that is willing to be whole, to be healed from their past experiences that make them feel like they don't measure up to what they see projected around them, or that they don't hold value just being as they are every day in their waking life. Those are the cues and signals to actually get in there and decide, how can I actually mend this brokenness or this wound inside of me, so that I can feel just as valuable on the inside, without any stardom, without any celebrity, I should say, without any fame, without even any fortune. How can I feel that I am worthy of all that the divine wants to pour into me and pour out of me? How can I feel that way? You have to be that before you can have that. And the doing in between is what defines the two. So somebody that feels like they can only be a celebrity by all the external accomplishments is going to do whatever it takes to have those accomplishments. And that puts you in this bad position here. That puts you in a position to look outside of yourself, to the point where you want to take from others and siphon their essence, so that you can ultimately have it for yourself, or even diminish another person's essence so that you can exalt your own persona. That's the illusion of celebrity and stardom, the mix-up of it all. The true star is healed, and a true star is walking in the way of how they feel called to live their life, what incites them to love themselves and to love others beyond what is just popular. Because sometimes the way of a star is not popular by societal standards. If that was the case, and it is transforming, it's balancing, I do believe, but if that was the case, you wouldn't see some of the ridiculousness happening in celebrity world, in Hollywood, in the industry, in the music world that we see today. You wouldn't see people, dropping like flies because of addictions, or committing crimes on account of trying to maintain some status. You wouldn't see that behavior. That's behavior of someone that doesn't value the essence of themselves truly. You wouldn't see that, and that's on display for a reason. You're seeing all of the glitz and glamour, but ultimately what you're being sucked into is the behavior of someone that is going to self-destruct, as a person such as this either has, is, or will. I get the sense that he's already lost with the Seven of Cups. That's a distrustful place to be. Yeah, and here's the Justice card. Wow, with the Ace of Pentacles, which would be this is like a divine gift. This is that gift that's ordained from above, just like the Ace of Cups. But lately I've been really seeing the Pentacles as gifts, like spiritual gifts. Yes, it is definitely money, and it is time, and it is energy. But I literally have been seeing it as, like, especially with the aces, with the Ace of Pentacles, Pentacles particularly, is like a gift that's been given specifically to you from a spiritual essence that nobody else possesses, but one can miss that gifting and that opportunity. It's also an opportunity when you're looking around at what everybody else got, how everybody else is shining, what everybody else is doing, or and it makes you so you start to hate yourself so much for not mirroring that reflection, that you'll do anything either strange for change, whether it be in an actual sense or a figurative sense, where you want to change someone else's future or their outcome so that you have a better chance of outshining them. That's what that energy is. And that's what I'm saying, like when we talk about it in the love vibration, when I was saying like this new tactic, they see that you are completely content in who you are, the choices you've made, what you expect to come, you know, like you're patiently waiting for whatever your point of stardom may be for yourself uniquely, not looking at, she's looking into her own cup, the Queen of Cups. She's not worried about nobody else, you know. The Queen of Wands, she's looking at what he's doing, but only on the pretty much on account of her own point of attack or or defense, as the Queen of Wands is a warrior. You know, she's always on ready, always. So, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's just, it's ridiculous is what it is, that some people are still just so delusional that they don't even see the forest for the trees. They don't see how they are getting in their own way of healing and having a life, ultimately the life that they truly desire and dream of by way of this star status. It's just, you're just going the wrong way to get it. And it's not unusual. Yeah, Six of Cups. This is about past experiences, nostalgia. It's not unusual to be misguided because that's what the Force is supposed to do. But when you are continuously submitting to that force and surrendering to it, we all have the cues, like to tap into our own spirit. We all have the cues in our waking lives that are telling us, this ain't the way. You know, this is not bringing you happiness. This is not bringing you peace. 9 times out of 10, obviously, I mean, I don't even have to speculate. This is not bringing him peace. You know, any person, I'm saying he, obviously, because of the cards, but woman, man, child, God forbid, this is not a peaceful state of being. Your back is turned to the sun, my guy. The sun is over here and you focused on spilt milk in a gray sky, you know? And it's ultimately, like I said, just looking everywhere outside itself except for into self to see, you know, the energy, literally the energy, what's in charge internally, the energy, inner God. What are you giving precedence in your life to rule and guide your steps? Whatever you're focusing on ultimately is what's leading the way. But you have all control. Well, you know, I don't know, because this right now, he's so high up in the clouds, maybe perhaps even literally. Oh, I just heard that too. There may be some chemical imbalance going on here where there's some overindulgence in substances on account of self-soothing, meaning drinking or drug use. You know, there's obviously some overindulgence with the Knight of Wands showing up in this energy with the Magician. And then it's probably drinking with the spilled cups here. Yeah, and then the Six of Cups here. And it might be even that maybe was a generational cycle that he was ultimately, yeah, this is a 6 to the 7. That may have been a generational 5, 6, 7. Yes, he was supposed to ascend beyond this limitation of debauchery, you know, of overindulgence, of self-soothing, of sacrificing his spiritual self. Because no matter how many times he thought he was sacrificing someone else, he ultimately was only sacrificing himself. This is like him in the cage where he's thinking, yeah, he's thinking he's putting somebody else in the cage, and he's literally just working on his own self. Yeah, and this is someone that would be, look at this, would be the King of Wands with all this power and authority and creativity, divinely so, if that's what he would put his mind to. But he doesn't. He invests his time in bringing other people down or keeping other people bound for some inflated sense of power. Again, The difference between celebrity and stardom. This inflated sense of power and authority over others, which makes him feel like he's the magician. He can do anything. He can be the bringer of justice or judgment in anyone's lives by the flick of his wand. And it could be very physical, like literally manipulating women energetically and emotionally by way of, just loving them and leaving them. Like I said, you can imbalance a woman. You don't even have to have sex with her, honestly. And given the King of Wands is here, it tells me that he at some point did elevate his tactics to be something that was probably less hands-on and more less physical and more emotional and energetic. That's what this is giving me here. This is not a high vibrational King of Wands. He would be if he focused on his own path and working on his own shit on the timeline that he was given the opportunity to do so. But see where he's looking in the past. This is like a regressed childhood memory. This is an imbalanced relationship, some relational exchange that he reflects on or is triggered by almost always when he even tries to do the right thing in the King of Wands energy. When he tries to create in a way that is upright and fair and justified, literally with the balance here on either side, something still, because it's unresolved, ultimately is what it is, it still triggers him back to this space of low vibrational tactics and work and impulses. Whatever that is, it may, like I said, it could be on account of these feminine exchanges or experiences or exposures or in some regard that were experienced at a younger age, from mom to perhaps dating life or lack thereof or whatever that looks like, to once he did get older and he started to come into I hear that, like, the knowledge of his own power and force. He has an anointing too. He has it, but he didn't choose to use it well. So when he came into his power, instead of him using that to actually heal himself on account of those unfavorable circumstances and the imprint that it made on his psyche, he decided to ultimately just use it as a force against those who he felt some infraction from in some way, shape, or form. So this is very much narcissistic vibes, sociopath vibes. Someone that doesn't have control over their emotional, psychological, enough control to put in some very extremely complex tactics into place so that when he can't even get his hands on you, he doesn't need to, whether you even know he wants to or not, or knows he's in your energy or not. Like, these are psychological tactics that are beyond the physical. It's energetic. Like someone that knows how to mentally project energy, that knows, perhaps, like I said, he has gifts too, that might even know how to astral project. Yeah, with the Seven of Cups here. But I feel that, especially given this ending here, because this is where I'm going to stop, that the justice here is that those that have been vulnerable to his force are being liberated. They're being free from that confinement, free to continue on. Like, look, the cups, 3 of Cups, 3 here, it's 4 here, but you know what I mean, 3 of these cards. It's like every aspect of you or whomever this energy has encountered, because it's not specific to a man. It's definitely a spirit, right? So this isn't just one person we're talking about. This is an energetic signature of someone that is intentional about doing harm to feminine force or to anyone that's submissive to his power, because it could even be men, right? Even with the Knight of Wands, that could be another man that he just views as lesser than him in some regard. And so therefore he dominates, uses his powerful force to dominate over him. Again, it doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be, because he's learned how to ultimately shapeshift, I guess I said that for a reason, his force in a way that is more undetectable by the physical senses, which is why it's important for this Queen of Cups to have come up the way that she did. If she had not healed internally and been connected or even reconnected to her spiritual source, she wouldn't even know what was going on under the surface, behind the veil, in the clouds. This is him operating Fantasia-like forces, that you wouldn't even know to look for on the outside looking in, because first of all, he doesn't even give you the projection that he's capable of that, or even, he gives you the projection of harmony and balance and peace and fairness, someone that also is highly gifted, that may even be in the spotlight. We could be talking about an actual celebrity here, or that has some great power and force in the societal spectrum. And the King of Wands is someone that is very attractive, especially to someone as you that is the Queen of Wands. He checks all the boxes in terms of attraction in spirit and in truth. Like, this is someone that looks good, smells good, dresses well, knows he has charisma, he's exciting, he's ambitious, he's a go-getter, and he's powerful, and confident. If I did not say that. This is the projection of who he is. He works very hard on these appearances, is what I'm getting between these two. But ultimately, this is him, a broken little boy on the inside that still hasn't, he's like he's given these stale cups in this regard. It looks pure, it looks plentiful, but ultimately, see how he's bigger than the feminine here? He's manipulating. He is emotionally manipulating. And I feel that he's looking at this energy as it is here regressively, because finally the justice is that what he's been doing has been exposed over these Three of Cups. And the exposure is liberating for those that have ultimately been vulnerable to it, which is going to have the adverse effect of not elevating him as he positioned himself to be so, but actually I heard denigrating. I don't even know what that means, but downgrading him in some way back to his original self, where he's finally going to have to deal with why he's projected this in the first place. Finally having to face the truth of himself. Period. That's that on that. And here's the wow, and the Hierophant is bringing balance, but it's also like I'm getting this double fold, especially these days, because this is actually, like I was saying before, it's like a house of, I hear the house of God. This doesn't feel great to me. It feels good for who it's good for, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I said, this is not just one man. This is many men. And that's what is represented here with this Hierophant energy, that there is a whole host of energies, call them covens, call them secret societies. They're seen and unseen, because you can see some of the secret societies in your face, i.e. the powers, the patriarchal powers that be, as I like to call them, by way of the establishments that we actually submit to as authority or some power, force, or source in our very lives. So there's that. But as I said, all of this energy was very covert, and that's what's being revealed here, that the ways in which, I mean, it may even be in your very own house that you didn't know you may have been subject to a character such as this, that in a covert way was looking to keep you small and captivated by his power and his rule, on account of the perception or projection of this happy home, stable life. You know, this, what is giving me here is that people, because sometimes this Four of Wands card, unfortunately these days, like I said, it can be very much a stable home. In this case, even blessed by God, you know. So by God, I hope that that's what is, I know honestly that that is what is the fortune of those that are walking in their true divine power of love and light, period. There's that, right? But sometimes this Four of Wands gives me the energy of someone that is given the persona or the appearance, you know, projecting this facade of balance and fortune. Like I said, like celebrity, you know, like I'm hearing MTV Cribs in my head, big old house, acres of land. We're having the time of our lives. We have so much money we can't even spend it. It's like it's a facade. A lot of those MTV Cribs episodes, as we know now, were fake. Either people were renting those homes, or they were literally put people in a home that wasn't even theirs just for the entertainment of the show, the celebrity. This is the energy that's being dismantled by the actual essence of the God force, of which this card can represent at times, is bringing the balance of this imbalance here, where people are being glamorized by facades and ultimately incited to pursue them, like I said earlier, based on what they perceive to be real. It needs to be balanced and brought down so that people can see exactly what it is for what it is, and then make their own decisions accordingly, not being persuaded or manipulated into this pursuit of fame and fortune, even by way of like YouTube now, because this is giving me like I say, celebrity couple vibes, or power couple vibes, really, with the wands, where you have these like creative couples on YouTube and in social media that sell this image that's really not what it is behind the scenes, but it's for the purposes of, you know, presenting a product for sale, you know, even if it's to buy into their persona or their image, support whatever it is that they're, you know, propping up behind it as a result, or just to buy into the views and the likes and subscribers or whatever the case may be. But it's of demonic nature in the essence of this Coventry spirit and this secret society, literally secret, with there being some ulterior motive underlining to siphon energy from the outside in for some self-gratification that is unjustified ultimately, because it's not the presentation of your purest form of love or vitality. You're not healed. You're not really exhibiting the authenticity of your gifts as they were divine to you. People may even be stealing content, which happens a lot for sure in social media, stealing content, stealing ideas and projecting them as your own. It's all of that here, and it's all mismanaged energy, and it's being brought down one way or the other. That's what the Sun card is here for, that the soul source, the supreme source of all, is not tolerant of these delusional projections anymore. It's like, now everything that you've sown is exactly what is going to be reaped one way or another. So like I said, for those that have been sowing good seed into good ground, perhaps you are getting a new home. Perhaps you are being thrusted into the spotlight in some way that you are destined to be so, because you've done the work and you have ultimately been focused on what is divine to your path, like what comes naturally to you to do. Who you are naturally is gaining you some success or recognition or return for your investment in yourself, to be holistic and to be healed. You know, that is the force that the spirit wants to get behind now, that, like I was saying, is kind of being balanced out and overturned, because that's what's going to ultimately turn this destruction into production. That's what the celebrity status has been doing, destroying the lives that are within it and destroying those that aspire to it for the most part. Somebody, whenever you're in that world, you do not come out unscathed. Even if you come out with your money, some part of your spirit is bruised on account of what you had to do, or even what you saw while you were there, what you were exposed to. And it's just that reproduction of ratchetness is not sustainable on the earth anymore. It's not prosperous, and is damaging to creation. So now that's why the shifting is taking place, so that there has to be an exposition of what's been going on in your own independent life, the way you see your personal surroundings, the way you see public projections, i.e. celebrity world, why things are being exposed there day in and day out, how you see the patriarchal society that we all have committed to or contributed to in some way, the powers that be, we're there in the midst of a so-called threat to a shutdown now. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I'm definitely not wishing on that for anything or anyone, unless that's what is divine to be so. But there's that, you know what I mean? Always facing the instability of what we once thought was stable. And then, globally, universally speaking, there's just fires ablazing every which way you look in places that you never even expected it to be so, where people are just revolting against these societal structures that are ultimately enslaving, that are not liberating at all. It's happening on a micro scale and on a macro scale, from a personal and intimate perspective to a universal perspective. It's just all a matter of where you fare in that flow. Are you surrendering to your highest call to be all that you've been called to be, be all that you can be in this army of earth that we are in? Or are you still surrendering to these old world ideals of how you should measure yourself to appear to be some type of star or celebrity or some glimmer of life, that really doesn't have much longevity? It's all fleeting when you subscribe to it in that regard. The star that's internally secure is eternal ultimately, and is definitely supported and exalted by a supreme source and force. That's something that you can depend on. It doesn't just look like God. This is like the Pope, who we know is kind of like the representation of God, kind of, sort of. At least that's what we, in Christianity anyway, globally. So that's what is ultimately idealized. But hell, even he might be, that's what I'm hearing. And we know this Pope was very revolutionary, especially in a difference in past popes in comparison. So maybe even he's not exempt. The Pope ain't safe neither. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like I heard bringing the house down is what I heard, and building it back up on a firm foundation. So again, that's in spirit and in truth. You personally, your surroundings, your nation, your world, your universe. How do you shine on account of it all is the only thing that truly matters. Because the world could be tumbling down around you, but if you are an unlimited force, it really doesn't matter what the projection is. You're eternal. So nothing can truly stop your shine in the grand scheme of things, not even the worst projection, not even the worst news, not even the worst ideal of catastrophe or, destruction, whether it be from someone in your life or projected from propaganda, about your life. Either way, you're safe and sound as long as you are operating in that direct alignment, force, and source of your North Node, your star, and you being the star that you are. All right? I think I beat that down enough. Don't you think? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I will definitely look forward to chatting with you on the next one. Until next time, I will certainly leave you with peace.